Hello there, my name is Natalie Bungay and I'm the Technical Director for Pestforce UK. Now I'm here just to talk to you a little bit about rats, the signs of rat activity, be it in your home or business, but also what can be done about them. Now the first thing to remember is that having rats within a home or business is something to certainly be addressed and dealt with, but there's nothing to be embarrassed about or worried about, okay? Because there are people here that can help you and we can always provide the advice that you need also. So firstly, the signs. The most common one will be, of course, the rodent, the rat themselves. If you see a rat in your garden, or maybe coming in from a neighbouring property and running through your garden, or maybe in your attic. So you popped up there and seen something scurrying off into the corner. That's a sign you've possibly got rats active in the area. The other one is droppings. You're going to find these more predominantly within your property if you have them in your property. A bit harder to locate them outside, but certainly if you do have rats that have come in from outside and they've got into your cavities, into your attic, then you'll be able to see droppings in latrine areas, in areas that they choose to defecate in. And they're about the size of a raisin, a bit smoother and longer, but roughly that size and that colour. A dark raisin. So if you see that, again, that's another sign. We can also notice damage as well. So again, keep to the same area in the attic space. If you've got some boxes that look like they've been damaged, and you can usually, with rats, quite specifically, have some teeth marks that are evident, and you kind of think this looks like something's been nibbling at it. That can also be a sign as well. Maybe even in your pantry, in your kitchen, again, products and foods and things like that, that's what rats are going to be looking for. So you may get damage there. So it's always a sign to look out for. They're the main ones. And I think it's really important to look at how rats can be addressed. So, from a Pestforce point of view, the main importance of dealing with rats is understanding why they are there. If we don't understand why they're there and what the root cause is, then we're not going to be able to get that long-term control for you. So actual treatment usually comes after the survey and establishing what that root cause is. It might be your drains, it might be a fault in the drains and the rats have been able to escape, whether it's out in your garden or possibly, if you're unfortunate enough, through into your property through the cavities, which can happen. Okay, so we'll look at that, and then once we've found what the source of the problem is, we'll address it. Site specific, really specific to you and what's happening at your property, because that will also depend on what treatment we put in place. Now, we'll always consider environmental changes, things we can advise you to do to help reduce rats. So managing your waste a little bit better if that's needed, maybe sealing holes, and just making the area generally more unattractive for rats is what we want to do. And if it is a drain issue, we can give good advice and surveys on actually establishing where that fault is and how it can be fixed, because like I said, we need to fix that problem. And then in terms of just reducing those numbers of rats in the area, again, whether it's in the garden or in the home, it will be a choice of traps or rodenticides. Rodenticides are the poisons that we use for rodents in the UK, that's authorised by the HSE, and we will just assess which is safest. So whether there's pets or children on site, we'll assess what's the safest option for you. And also we always like to go down the non-chemical route where we can. But it's a huge assessment process, which we'll do when we come to your site. So please just remember, don't be embarrassed about having rats at your property. And yeah, give us a call if you need a survey. If you're not quite sure whether you've got rats or not, and I mentioned about all the signs that you have, droppings and chew marks, you can take photographs of that, because that's very handy for us to be able to assess before we come to site. And then, yeah, we're all ready to go, and hopefully can get your problem under control a lot quicker. Okay, so hopefully that's been some really helpful information for you. Make sure you give us a call and we'll provide all of the support and information you need. Okay, take care.